This is a moment in Jewish history. This past Shabbat, I attended services at Kihila Latina, a Spanish-speaking community organization in Jerusalem, which hosts Shabbat meals and other events. I never really grew up with Spanish speakers, so for me, it was different, but everyone was warm and inviting, and helped translate. That's where I learned about the Jewish Gauchos of Argentina. Argentina has one of the largest Jewish populations in the world and the largest in Latin America. Jewish Gauchos were Yiddish-speaking cowboys, horsemen and farmers who once lived and thrived in Argentina. Back in the 1880s, things were not too good for the Jews of Russia. The pogroms and anti-Jewish restrictions prompted many to seek more freedom elsewhere. They left the shtetls of Eastern Europe and the Pale of Settlement in the Russian Empire to seek a new life in rural South America. The first 8 Jewish families arrived in Argentina in 1888 to set up agricultural communities. The next year, over 130 Russian Jewish families came, sponsored by the Jewish Colonisation Association, founded by Baron Maurice de Hirsch. Born in Germany, Baron Hirsch became a wealthy banker. His grandfather was the first Jewish landowner in Bavaria, during a time when there were many restrictions on Jews owning land or what professions they could have. Baron Hirsch's successful financial career led him to become a philanthropist, and he donated vast sums to help poor and persecuted Jewish communities. The Jewish Colonisation Association began as a way to support Jewish farmers in the land of Israel. It also funded communities in the United States and Canada. Today, it still exists as the Jewish Charitable Association and focuses on the development of Israeli peripheral areas in the Galilee and Negev. Baron Hirsch met with another Jewish leader who was also working to resettle persecuted Jewish communities. The not yet famous Theodor Herzl would go on to write the book The Jewish State and found the World Zionist Congress. Herzl thought that the Jews should move to the land of Israel, and while Baron Hirsch funded many communities there, he was focusing more on Argentina. Colonia Mauricio was named after Baron Maurice de Hirsch. Then came Moisés Ville, or Moisés Ville. The Russian immigrants who founded the community became farmers and built synagogues and community centers. The Kishinev pogrom in Russia prompted more Jews to move there. One of them was Alberto Gerchunoff, a noted Argentinian writer. His father, Rabbi Gershon ben Avraham Gerchunoff, was murdered by an Argentinian bandit. Gerchunoff's most well-known book was Los Gauchos Judíos, published in 1910 and translated into English as The Jewish Gauchos of the Pampas. It was made into a movie in 1975. One of the fictional characters in the book is Pavel Duchlach, whom he describes as an original-looking man. A hook nose dominated his face, and his long beard was balanced by long locks of hair at the back of his head. He wore the loose gaucho trousers, the bombajas under his traditional Jewish cassock that was belted in his case. It was a fantastic get-up, but Pavel explains the absurdities by stating, "I'm a Jewish gaucho." The opening to the book reads as follows. As I greet you, my brothers of the colonies and cities, the Republic is celebrating its greatest festival, the glorious feast of its liberation. The days are clear and the nights are sweet, and the praises of national heroes are sung. Voices reach toward a sky that is always blue and white, as in the national flag. The meadows are alive with flowers, and the hills are covered with new grass. Do you remember how back in Russia you laid out the ritual table for our Passover's glory? This is a greater Passover. So leave your fields, my brothers, and prepare your tables anew. Cover them with white cloths. Sacrifice your whitest lambs, and place the wine and the salt at hand. This is a generous roof that shelters us today, that soothes the ancient pains of our race and covers our wounds with the soft salve of motherly hands. My wandering Jewish brothers, my tortured comrades, now free men, kneeling, let us raise our faces to that friendly sky's light. Let us join the choruses of praise. Let ours be the words of the Song of Songs that begins, "Hear this, O ye mortals." Alberto Gerchunoff, Buenos Aires, 1910. Later, in the 1940s, when Hitler came to power, Gerchunoff became a dedicated Zionist and promoted Jews to move to the land of Israel. Moisés Ville was a thriving community. There was a Yiddish theater, Jewish newspapers, and a community of horse-riding Jewish cowboys and families. But as the years went on, the community dwindled. More and more moved to Israel. The synagogues now still stand, but are mostly empty. And today, the city is known mostly for its museum and cultural center that stand in testament to a community that once was. Today, in Israel, Argentinian Jews have made an important contribution to Israeli society. Groups like Kehila Latina, based in Jerusalem, and Olé, based in Tel Aviv, host a variety of activities for young and old, for all Spanish-speaking Jewish immigrants, and sometimes for English speakers like me. This has been a moment in Jewish history. For past shows, you can visit benbresky.substack.com. Thank you to all the listeners, and Shalom.